It's been 2 long years since the raging waters from the Akosombo and Kpong dams swallowed homes and scattered lives across the North Tongu constituency in the Volta region. Today, they endure scorching tents, unfinished houses, and promises that seem to wash away, just like the floods. Enjoy News' series, After the Floods. Fred Kwame Asare returns to the heart of the devastation, where hope still fights to stay afloat.
1 year after the floodwaters swallowed homes, many in Mepe are still waiting for a place to call home again. For Theodora and her family, the wait has been long and unbearable. Her family is one of over 100 households living in temporary UNICEF tents at 3 resettlement camps in the North Tongu district. Their mud house was swept away, leaving them with only what they could salvage.
Face that kind of problem.
At Camp 1, a 10-unit structure built by the government sits empty. The flood victims say it was hurriedly constructed and unlivable.
We 2 weeks. Hey, come to about 2 Holagama. We 2 weeks, 3. You'll be ever packing me. I mean, household. One may we are torn, Yano Hogre coming. Yeah, I mean, like Balena, all be. Look at Allo Bumio. Want to know that Mamma or go approve your Plinos Ronano Homer. Well, I tell you. I'm a flamina. Nuka komi jela woji e kale fa famina na ke pomo si wa ga paki mi abi sadine ne atro ho de kama jiko ya le ha ma kala ho.
The government's resettlement project remains incomplete, but concerns are growing over the cost and quality of the new housing units.
They are putting up 20 rooms, which is 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, no toilet, no bath. Small 6x6 posh. Do you want them to stay or to sleep? And they are laying it without mortar joint. When you push it with your hand, the whole thing will collapse. And this building alone, when I tell you the cost of it is reaching 1 million Ghana cedis. It's about 800,000 Ghana cedis for these 2 bedrooms alone. Why is the government wasting money in somebody's pocket? Please compensate the victims so that they go to their homes and leave the camps for you.
For these victims, it is not just about shelter, it is about dignity, security, and a chance to rebuild their lives. They are not asking for much, just a home that is safe, decent, and truly theirs.
I'm the Garakam with a can of Hogger Common. Terminology. I got 8 billion. I got to a hole. And now, Mr. Gom, me and your gamma to be over.
No chunk and Minya to me. Gear nature chomily, Minya Bechi Topo, Nila planning Balakuji, Atwapi. Nya planning Balakuji, Atwapi. Go over packing me that day, go Helen Gula Mienti, near the Capomo.
Over 1 year after the floods, they are still waiting, but for how much longer? From Mepe in the North Tongu district of the Volta region, my name is Fred Kwame Asare for Joy News.
And that is our latest feature after the floods. Now, after the floods, we have checked in to find out how people in those communities are getting by. We're going to have a conversation on the back of that. Joining us, we have Amos Boro. He is Assembly Member for the Mepe electoral area. He joins the conversation. We also have Fabian Mawulenu. He is PRO for the Mepe Traditional Council. Both of them join the conversation. Let me start with Amos for now. Hello, Amos. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
It's a pleasure having you join the conversation with us.
My pleasure too.
It's been 2 years thereabouts since some of these incidents. For you, what are your initial thoughts on how the situation has been handled?
My initial support.
Your initial thoughts.
I can't hear you.
Amos, I am asking for your initial thoughts on how this matter has been handled up to this point.
Okay, thanks so much for the opportunity. Yeah, initially, we all know that the VRA has started spilling the Akosombo Dam in October, 4th thereabout, and up to 10th, we start realizing it along the banks of the river. So on the 11th of October 2023, the water started coming very high, and then most of our homes has been taken away, including me myself. So we started raising alarm. Calling on government, philanthropists, supporters to come in, benevolent to come and support us with relief items and all that. Later on, government also came in, NADMO, the navies, they also came to start crossing at the distance some areas, a path that links to St. Kizito, that is the safe haven. They started before that, up to date. But somewhere along the line, RCC, the Regional Coordinating Council, they were also here to come and put up a structure for us, of which the Western Housing Minister, Kojo Ponkuman, came in and cut short. So the RCC project, they started with, they promised us 100 units, but they started with 20. And as we speak, they haven't finished. It is on my land here, in Mepe here, that I gave them. They were molding the red bricks. They started the project at Mepe, Dover, Aveime, and Agbetipo. So with all this up to date, they haven't finished. They weren't able to finish the project. And the rooms are very small to the extent that, and then the structure itself that they are putting up, if you look at it, I'm not an engineer, but from a layman point of view, I don't think that is the structure that's supposed to be given to people out of no fault of theirs that this happened. So we are still waiting. As at now, we are in limbo. We don't know what to do. The people are still living in the camps. We are suffering. Imagine close to 2 years this for you to be under this in a tent, not a temporary tent. You are there up to date, the heat and all that. And then now that the rain pattern has also set in, it's a whole lot of problems. Snake bite and all that. In the camp, we are suffering. The damage cost is still there. The psychological effect that it has given us is still there. A lot of properties were damaged, documents upon documents. Count it up to date. We are not seeing that much, because when the former president came here, that he told us that we didn't vote for them, but when it happens, we were calling on them. And I don't expect such a pronouncement to come from a statement. This is a national issue of which the World Bank and Co. will be coming in to come and render support and all that. So why are we still here up to date? Nothing has. We are not seeing that much. A whole lot of talk and all that. So what we are calling for now is we need compensation. Compensate us so that we will go back to our various homes. We will go and put up our structures. Maybe if the place is not good enough, we need to look for a suitable place to do it. But now in the land is also a problem. If you are not getting it that they can put up those housing units in one place for us, compensate us. If you take it and you didn't use it well, you don't blame anybody. We collected data. Mr. Fabian is on the line. Mepe has tried to develop an app through Morphine Kojugbo. We collected the general data, and of which we can extract those damages out of it. The VRA, they do the same, NADMO. So let us now begin to be doing vivid comparison and look at the proper damage that were caused. Things that happened or that which happened, so they can compensate us appropriately.
I'll be moving on to Fabian shortly, but I just want a clarity on something you said. Did you mention that there were 20 small rooms that were 20 rooms that were supposed to be put up, but so far only 10 have been put up? Just clarify what you said there.
I mean, the clarification is we were promised 100 units.
100 units, right?
100 units, of which they started with 20.
Okay.
By RCC, the Regional Coordinating Council, up to date, as we speak, they haven't finished. They break like Christmas before getting to election. Up to date, as we speak, they are no more. They are not inside. They are in my house. I'm just there looking at the place. So if it is true, I'll tell you. So that's how it happened.
Which basically means that after the elections, nothing else has happened. After they broke,
nothing else has happened. They are just in their poly tanks. They are with me here. The machines they are using to mow the blocks. Their 3-cycle is with me here. They are not in sight, and the people are still living in the camps. Imagine that, there's trauma. We are suffering. Me, as assembly member, I was comfortably living in my house. Little did I know that it will cross the road before I realized just in 10 minutes it reaches my house. Imagine if it were to be in the night. Me, my wife, and my 5 children, we were all there. What are we going to do? So now that God, by the grace of God, we're able to move out to salvage some few properties. Still, the land is there. I don't have the financial muscle that I'm going to do whatever. And as assembly member, people are relying on me to also find a solution. Hey, I did not be in position. Somebody will not take me to battle. Later, a native of ours, Mr. John Gakbeto, this man, may God bless him, he called me, Bolo, come and stay in my house. It is in his house that I'm staying now. So today, if they sack me, where am I going? Including others. I am speaking on behalf of my other flood victims that were in the camp.
Right.
From the Abrakwa and his partners camp, a Holy Christ area there, the camp 1, camp 2 at the Gome, and a part of them too are at Aveima. As we speak. Imagine.
Right.
Imagine.
Let me bring Fabian into the conversation. Fabian, good morning.
Good morning to all your cherished listeners.
It's a pleasure having you. Let me steer the conversation from here. 2 things. One, I want to find out what your reactions are. This prolonged, protracted, attempt at dealing with the problem for 2 years. No one would want to be in such a situation. And secondly, let me just sneak it in. Since you are with the Mepe Traditional Council, what sort of engagements have you had with the Regional Coordinating Council, with the DISEC? I say DISEC because it is a security matter. And maybe even the Member of Parliament in that area. So 2 questions. What you feel on the back of 2 years of practically nothing, according to Amos, and the coordination with some of these entities. Go ahead, Fabian.
Very well. Thank you so much. For the first question, I will use one word to respond: neglect.
Neglect.
Complete neglect. How do we feel? We felt very neglected. We felt like we are not part of Ghana, or we non-Ghanaians. In fact, even non-Ghanaians find solace with all of us here. But if we are the sacrificial lambs for the dam, that gives us a very sustained energy or power all these years. I'm not too sure this is how we're supposed to be handled. My earlier colleague made reference to previous administration, how we're described, except that I didn't want to go there. Everybody knows voting pattern in Ghana anyway, but I am restraining myself. So we've been neglected. I think we're not Ghanaians. We're in this country where I have carefully looked at situations where in other parts of Ghana, situations like this are given real national action, not attention. You can give an attention to something, but if you do not act, it is what it is. Then it's story. It keeps rolling. So we've been neglected. Bottom line.
You feel you're being treated unfairly?
Say it again.
Do you feel you're being treated unfairly? You mentioned other parts of the country. Does that mean you feel
exactly
you're being treated differently?
I appreciate the introduction of very much unfairly. Now, that notwithstanding, we have to appreciate the generosity of general Ghanaians, including all the media networks, your good self, and the multimedia engaging us this morning. That's what's keeping us going. Otherwise, I do not know, we're not having the courage to be speaking. So it is what it is. Now, national, different question, as in national, it's a national security issue. Look, let me use the one word and try to summarize this one also. There is no coordination. There is no proper engagement. If you properly engage, then we will coordinate, connect, and then deal with the situation and begin to find solutions. Clearly not. The previous layer, as in previous administration, I do not want to waste everybody's time, but it was completely non-existent. Because they will come to the news as leaders and politicians. Naturally, they will make the headline. Then we'll be reacting. It is what they told you, but people give us a little space to respond. It had never been, assuming it had been the case as they've always preached, we wouldn't be talking this morning after 2 years. So coordination is completely gone. If I find a bit of space in the current president's team that went round, at least they even mentioned that there did not be proper coordination and communication in engaging the communities and all that. It's a broad issue. So there's no coordination. So you cannot solve a problem when you do not understand the problem from the person who is suffering. So coordination is completely not there. Now, let me just throw light on one or two things. I heard my colleague talk about some few things that are very brilliant. In our part of Ghana, the land tenure system is a family type. You come to a community, there are problems. You identify maybe a handful of people or many people whose house is completely damaged. If you coordinate and engage us properly, we know those people. We have a comprehensive data. In fact, kindly share with me, or probably I didn't share those data already. I will already share with you. You'll find a detailed, comprehensive data that Method Demand Association together with International Council gathered in real and in truthfulness. Honorable Boro or Ablosuda spoke to you. Cannot lie that is how broke down. You know how we live in a communal spirit. We don't fence our property. So you can't even lie when you do not have a house and you say, no, you can't even do that. But politicians would choose and pick their method, arrive, and do whatever they decided to do, and tell the whole world, this is the data we are working with data. If we are not careful, we'll create more problems than solutions. Now, we are having a big problem now in Mepe because one of our very generous citizens that donated his property to actually take care of some of the excess numbers. That place is a vocational school. The school has to come mainstream this academic year. He needed a property to open the school. Clearly, we needed to relocate those people. As I speak to you now, steps away with the General Council going to meet the DCE to discuss some of these issues. Is it the time to discuss some of these basic issues when people are sleeping and that things that are supposed to be used for just 6 months or some 3 months to be expired? And look at our temporary zone. The tents are in tatters. They are torn in pieces. We're in rainy season. These are people who have been living comfortably. Even if they were living in their handcuffs, they were very comfortable. They were not looking for the luxuries that our leaders have been living in. Is it too difficult to do? So I will use two words for response for the two questions. One, we've been neglected and have not been fairly treated as if we're not Ghanaians. The second one, there's no proper coordination and engagement. We would have found solutions if we really mean business. Let me appreciate the fact that when the current president made a statement during his campaign, at least he set up, at least they made a budget-free allocation. He set up committees that have gone round. I was around when we made a committee actually doing a community visitation. We are yet to meet the committee to discuss the nitty-gritty, the data, and how they want to approach this whole compensation issue and trying to reassign, get our people back to where they belong.
This is heartbreaking. And you've just started talking about the very next bit I wanted to throw at both of you in respect of what is being done currently, because indeed we do know that the problem has festered. Fabian has spoken about the lack of coordination. But coming back to you, Amos, on this matter, a budgetary allocation has been made, right, in this year's, budget and dovetailing from there. Are there any boots on the ground? And if not, what are the moves to ensure that this current administration, as speedily as possible, gets boots on the ground to help your community?
Nothing has started yet. I haven't seen any sign. My senior man has just spoken. If there is an effort of such, and he will tell you that we haven't seen anything. So they captured it in the budget. All right, fine. That the people of the flood victims of Volta region are going to be compensated. So we haven't seen any sign yet. But if there's any, we will tell the general public to know that these are efforts that are on the ground. Yeah.
And so as of now, you are at the mercy of the elements, the heat, the rain, and everything, and you are basically helpless. That's what you're saying.
Yes, we are helpless. Recently there was a structure that was put up at the government camp there. I learned it, they say it's by the VRA. Imagine it's in the form of a classroom. So they give it to you. Not only you and your distant, maybe your family, but with others. Can your privacy be guaranteed? Your wife and children and all that. They did not even came back. And look at such a situation. What are they asking us? What do they want us to say? I'm affected. I know what I'm talking of. I say I realize it has come in just in 10 minutes at knee level. I have to be running just like that. Helpless. It's still fresh in my memory. What about others? Old ladies, old men, and all that. Children. Life is not normal. Economic activities has been affected. Farmland. Oh, can we cost it? How can they offer us? What can they do to us to satisfy us? Yes. Now it's a community that is close to the river Volta, and it's a farming and fishing community. We are not seeing job opportunities too. Like maybe they will come in and mechanize agriculture so that the youth in the area will stop migrating to other areas to seeking for greener pastures and all that. We are just here. Fishing activities, no. And so the entire community too, when you look at it, Valley Hill and all that, proper drainage system and all those things, we are calling for it. What are they telling us?
Amos, and that's why we are having this conversation. No one should have to experience what you are experiencing. But of course, we know why this spillage had to happen. Our hearts go out to you. And that's why we're also contributing by having this conversation to highlight your plight. Amos, we're grateful for your time. Ahosu Amos Boro is Assembly Member of the Mepe electoral area. Let me cap off the conversation with Fabian. So, as PRO for the Mepe Traditional Council, you have had these engagements with the powers that be. What is next to remedy the situation? That's how we are capping off the conversation. Fabian. Final question to you.
Very well. Let me just use a second to just make just a correction. I'm the chairman of Mepe Development Association.
Right. You're the chairman of the
Set up by the
Mepe
National
Development
Council in
Association.
1955. So we work with them and for the community. So thank you so much. PRO is in order, but just so let me just put it in perspective. Thank you so much. The few steps that we needed to take, as I earlier indicated briefly, the current president's team went round. What we needed to do is to engage that team and the committee. To do so, as I speak to you this morning, in the next few minutes, we're having a meeting with the DCE and then move with her from that level to the MP and the committee to understand the real protocol. Because we just saw the report in the media. What all that means, and trickles down to us here struggling, we do not know. So I want to believe that in the next few days, we can have details of this conversation. But for now, I would want to indulge the committee working around this time so that we're able to get the details. And I can assure every Ghanaian and every listener and our community and others that have suffered for this delay, not only the citizens of Mepe, that we would be in the forefront, just like you, the media, assisting us, to make sure that at least these people have basic access to their own life as it used to, if it cannot even be improved. So this is all I want to say for now.
Fabian, thank you so much for joining the conversation. So those who joined the conversation, Fabian Kojo Maulenu, he is actually chairman of the Mepe Traditional Association, I believe, as he put it. And then we also had Ahosu Amos Boro. He is assembly member of the Mepe electoral area.